Okay.
All right. Welcome everyone tonight to our business call. We've got Diamond Ambassador Megan Goff and her husband Emerald Ambassador Justin Goff. Megan is a stay-at-home mom, had mold toxicity and got into plexus because of the mold. And Justin jumped on board when he saw his wife was doing better. He did road construction management. Mm-hmm. So most of you know my story. I was travel nurse for the last 20 of my 26-year career. Battled Lyme disease, SIBO, Epstein-Barr, numerous other co-infections. So now this is my career is health and wellness coaching. So they're here tonight to help us learn how to build our businesses. So take it away, guys.
Awesome. Okay. You want to go first?
Sure. Well, thanks for having us. It's a lot of fun. We love to share our story. I love to share my story because one reason is because I was such a skeptic when it came to not necessarily the product. So this call is mainly about business building your plexus business, okay, or the business opportunity. That's the purpose of this call. So we're just going to establish the fact that plexus products are excellent. They have helped all of us here in one way or another, and that's why the business works. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to establish that right up front. For me personally, I didn't have a problem with the products. I was always Megan's guinea pig. She was always trying new things on me. So plexus wasn't anything new. It was just the next newest thing that I had to be. I was like that I was being tested on. I have had garlic cloves and oil put in my ear. I've had aromatherapy, essential oils that we later found out you weren't supposed to take internally. I've had those internally. So for me, I didn't really have a problem with the products because I trusted her. She loves the research. She loves looking at ingredients and all those things. I don't. I just trust her. She says, take this, and I take it. So we loved the products, but my biggest thing was the business model. And mainly it was network marketing that I had a problem with. But it wasn't because I had a bad experience. It was because I didn't know much about it. I had heard a few friends who spoke negatively about network marketing years ago. And that was the only experience I had with network marketing. So when she brought it up, she said, hey, there's a business opportunity here. I said, no way. I will never be a part of a pyramid scheme. I think they're illegal. My name is extremely important to me. My testimony is extremely important to me. I'm not going to throw both of those things away, because of some fly-by-night illegal pyramid scheme. So my biggest issue, like I said, was the business opportunity, or it was the network marketing model. And she took off with it. So just to back up for a little bit of backstory up to that point, of course, she was sick, but I had also been praying for years that I'd be able to come home. I'd be able to spend more time at home with my family. We have 5 sons and 1 daughter, and I was just gone 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours a day, which I was thankful for the job. It was where I was, and it was a great season of life. But as the kids started getting older, I started to see there has to be more to life than this. So I prayed for several years, and then, of course, plexus came along, and I knew that this couldn't be the answer that I was looking for, because it was network marketing and it was pink. And I'm like, I'm an Army road construction guy, and I'm like, this just doesn't fit the bill, So what I started to do personally is I started to do research. I started to research network marketing because I loved the products. She took off with the business. She made like $500 or $300, I don't remember now, in the first week or two.
And that's huge. That was huge for us.
That was huge. That already, even if it was $300, it hit that $300 exceeded my expectation in network marketing. I just had such a low opinion of network marketing. When she showed me the first pay stub, I thought, whoa, you made this from home, like on Facebook, just telling people about these products? She's like, yeah, I guess, because we had no idea what we were doing. And I said, I'm going to look into this. So I started researching network marketing, and I started researching Plexus specifically as far as the compensation plan goes and all those things. And I was surprised. I thought, this is a legitimate industry. This is, there's nothing wrong with this industry. I figured if you have good products, if you have a good compensation plan, and if your company has integrity, then this is a great industry to be a part of. And fortunately for us, Plexus has all three. Just like Bill and Tammy went out to Scottsdale on the Silver Stars trip that Tammy earned. Well, a few years ago, Megan earned that same trip, and I was still a little bit skeptical at that point. So I was asking also, I was trying to catch the people at the corporate office in some sort of an integrity issue. I was like, there's got to be, I'm on board, but it can't be this good. There's got to be something. So I was asking all sorts of questions. I know when we left, they had to have asked, who is that guy? Who invited that guy? But integrity is a big thing to me. So I had asked all sorts of questions, and they passed with flying colors. And so I don't know. I just kind of started taking off with it. I couldn't find anything wrong with the industry. I couldn't find anything wrong with Plexus. And I just started sharing. Once I knew I could attach my name to this industry and attach it to this company, I started sharing with all the guys on my work site. And my business really started growing from there, and it hasn't stopped. That was in 2015, and now here we are, 2019, and I wouldn't want to be doing anything else.
And one of the unique things about Plexus is that, if you look into the compensation plan, it is very unique. There's actually a video that Shoshana did about the sunburst effect. So there's no balancing of legs. We don't stock inventory. We're basically a mouthpiece, and it's advantageous to just build wide. Sign up a lot of people. You don't have to stack or balance legs. I didn't even know that existed in network marketing, but apparently it does. And also Plexus allows you to sign a spouse. And so you can build 2 legs and work those 2 legs and get paid double, basically. So that's one of the unique things. But for me, I had said no to Plexus for a year and a half, 2 years. I had seen, she wasn't really even a friend, but someone that had just developed a lot of influence over me, I guess, because I had followed her in health and wellness circles for so long. If you've seen Shoshana Easling's story with her Lyme, that's who I first heard about Plexus from. And I'm like, what is she into? I remember clicking on the email and just being like, oh, it looks like weight loss. Like I didn't understand what blood sugar regulation meant. And so I'm like, well, I don't need that. I'm not diabetic. And I don't need weight loss. Like at the time I was super skinny, couldn't gain weight because I had such horrible leaky gut syndrome from the mold that we were exposed to, and was just not quite there yet. And also it looked so MLM. I'm like, what? And like marketing, I guess, is visuals are big to me. So if it looks, I was just like, not buying that. So it actually took multiple friends over that period of about 18 months of just different people like messaging me. I had a cousin of mine, cousin-in-law, just say, hey, you should check it in Plexus. Just different people are talking to me about Plexus. And then I was seeing it on Facebook, but they were not talking about weight loss. They were talking about the gut microbiome. They were talking about candida overgrowth and how much that is linked to pretty much every disease known to man, and that 80% of our immune health is housed there, our serotonin levels. That's all connected, like the gut-brain connection. I was just like, okay, I'm tracking with that, totally track. I had been working with a naturopath during that time because I went from doctor to doctor and got all these crazy health diagnoses. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go the most drastic route if I don't have to. Like, I don't want to have to take my thyroid out. I would love to have more kids, but they told me I couldn't have any more.
Colon surgery.
Oh my. Oh my word.
Yeah.
Yeah. so so I was just like, if there's a lesser invasive way, like I want to trial those things first before I take out the big gun. Same with getting on a medication for life. I'm like, if that's what I need, like I'm willing to do that, but let's do some other things first. And so there was just like different people that I saw. I saw a chiropractor that just said to me, you seem really toxic. Like, have you been exposed to farm chemicals? I'm like, I don't think so. And so like, that was before we realized we had mold. And then like looking back, I'm like, oh, no wonder, like he knew I was toxic. We just didn't know why. And so I found a naturopath somewhat close to us, and she didn't necessarily know how to treat mold toxicity specifically, but she knew how to deal with root issues. So we revamped my diet. I'm a huge proponent of diet is important. What we eat matters, things like that. But also she helped me value supplementation, because that's what caused my thyroid levels to come into normal ranges, what really sparked remission in my symptoms. I've been symptom free for 3 years or a while. And so she just told me, she's like, Megan, if you don't want your symptoms to come back, you need to stay on a quality omega, a really good probiotic, and a great multivitamin. And so I just had that in my brain that's I'm a lifer for supplements. Like, we eat healthy, we grow most of our own food, we raise most of our own food, but I know that my body needs support. It's like groceries, groceries to me. So anyways, I ended up really liking what I was seeing on Facebook. I messaged every single person that was doing Plexus in my life, whether they had done it before. I was just wanting to gather information. If you're familiar with the color personalities, I was very green. So super slow to make a decision, and wanted all the research, because I especially knew, because my network of crunchy moms were going to be asking me, well, why is BioCleanse magnesium better than like Natural Calm or something I can buy at the health food store? ProBio 5, it has like a 2 billion CFU count. I'm on one with 250 billion CFU count. Why is this a better one? You know, I knew that I had to get the answers to those things before I could put my name on it or put my stamp of approval and share it with people. And so I just put myself into research mode. And then I came to the point where like, oh, bummer, like who do I sign up with? But Carrie made it very easy, because she was the follow-up queen. So hats off to Carrie for following up, and also know that follow-up with people is professional, and it's like essential, because I wasn't ready the first time someone mentioned Plexus to me. I wasn't even ready probably after the 25th time someone mentioned Plexus to me. But because she kept just saying, hey, you know, what other information can I get you? And then she finally came to me and said, hey, I have a spot for a special. Do you want it? I'm like, yeah, sign me up. So it was just a no-brainer. But two things that really affected my like future, I guess, in Plexus. Well, one, I'll just say really quick. I started the products for 2 weeks and then quit, because I thought it was tanking my milk supply. I was postpartum with baby number 5, the baby that the doctor said was impossible to conceive. He was born 3 months before I started Plexus. And we found out he was severely tongue and lip tied. So I got back on the products, and they were working for me. They were benefiting me. I noticed some changes, subtle changes in my first week. It took about 4 to 6 months for me to really see all the changes I wanted to see, because I was still like in process. Even though I had worked with that naturopath and a lot of my levels had come into normal ranges, my gut was still healing. And so even on Plexus products, I had extensive detox. So if you have Herxheimer reactions, if you have layers of healing, like that's totally normal. And so when sometimes people tell me, well, oh, I did it for 60 days and it didn't work for me, or I'm still detoxing. I'm like, girlfriend, do not quit, because if I would have quit 60 days in, I would have not have seen the changes I did 4 months in and 6 months in, and now 3 or 4 years in, right? And so two things that affected my decision to share Plexus. One, I saw Jarrett Abart's Diamond documentary. If you're not familiar with that, Plexus, once people hit the top of the company, they do these little like 7-minute videos on their family and their stories. And there's virtually, I think there's maybe 100 diamonds now, 120. It like encompasses every demographic, from nurse, you know, professional medical people to, you know, your whoever, I don't even know, just blue collar, is that what they're called? Or white collar? I would, you know, just your typical,
Any color.
you know, Joe, you know, whatever color, it doesn't matter. So that Diamond documentary showed me that like it's possible to live life free. And I remember watching that and saying to myself, like, I want what they have. I want that. I want time. To me, it's not about trips and like fancy cars or whatever. To me, it's like the decision or the ability to make decisions not based around someone else's schedule. The time freedom, the financial freedom, the ability to just pick up and go and travel and make memories with the kids. Did you want to pipe something in?
No, I was just, I mean, people have these different ideas on, everybody thinks they know everybody. So they might see the Plexus Lexus we drive, but my truck is a 1984 Nissan, like 820 Datsun farm truck.
Junker.
And I love it. It's perfect. I mean, so it's really not anything about that. It's about freedom. It's that we've been able to achieve a level of freedom that we never even knew existed. Just a freedom to be able to be with our children, the ability, you know, to give more than we've ever been able to give. As you know, we feel like the Lord wants us to give. We take that very serious. Even when we didn't have any money, we loved to give. And
what's the most fun thing you can do with money?
The funnest thing to do is to give, you know, and and just to dream again. I remember about a year and a half ago, I would have been about 41. And I was sitting there thinking, I heard these people talk about dreaming, and I haven't really dreamed since, I don't know, before we were married. You know, I mean, it just had been not anything wrong with it, our marriage or anything like that. I hadn't thought or dreamed big in so long.
Because you get on the hamster wheel. You're just trying to pay bills.
You're just paying bills and you're getting up, you go to work, and then the next is like Groundhog Day, you know, which is fine. I love to work, but just, I don't know, it's just the freedom. It is available. And network marketing is an incredible vehicle to find that freedom. It's just an amazing thing. And to think that for so long, I wanted nothing to do with the very thing that freed me up. It's such an amazing thing how you learn, how you grow, how God teaches you. And quite honestly, the timing, I think, is perfect too, because any other company wouldn't have appealed to me like Plexus did, because we have a story with Plexus. The products changed our life. So not only hers, but they've changed mine. I have a great health testimony. My kids have great health testimonies. Lots of friends of mine have great health testimonies. So I don't think that I would have had the belief in another network marketing company like I do Plexus just because of what the products have done for us. But, you know, why network marketing? It's one of those things where I'm going to do a post soon. We've been at this for 4 years now. She's been a little over 4 years, and so many people have come and gone on our Plexus team even, and you start to see their heart in it. A lot of them, I think, we're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, and that's just not what this is. This is a people business, and we're in and we truly like to help people, we like to help set people free, whether it's financially, whether it's with their health, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, whatever way we can help liberate people, we want to help people. I love to see people succeed. And so we're still at it 4 years later, and we're not going anywhere. But why network marketing? Well, there's a lot of reasons. The cool thing about network marketing is you can start today. You don't need an education.
Yeah, it's kind of a level playing field.
It's a level, you can just jump in. There's people that haven't spent one day in college, maybe at a frat party, that are killing it in network marketing. Yeah. And I think it's great. Perfect. Good for them. You know, I think it's awesome. So we know doctors in network marketing that are doing great. And we know, you know, like I said, a guy, maybe they went to a frat party killing it in network marketing. It's an even playing field. Your past doesn't really matter in network marketing. And I think that's wonderful. You don't have to have an education. You don't have to start. It's not a storefront. So there's not a whole lot of money up front with network marketing. Now, some companies are a little different. Some companies you'll have to pay a lot of money up front for product or for inventory or whatever. Thankfully, with Plexus, we don't have an inventory, so that's out. The only thing we have is the $39.95 annual charge as an ambassador, and that covers your website that they take care of for you. And right now, those are free for a lot of people because we have a lot of us have 6 of them we can hand out, and so that's a great way to start people. So there's so many great ways that we have network marketing. Retail. Let's just look at the business industry in America right now. The face of retail, the face of business has forever been changed because of Amazon. Amazon has changed the game. Yeah. The retail business is over. Payless shoe stores. They're going out of business. They're done. They're liquidating. It's going to be the largest retail liquidation sale in the history of, as far as I know, the world. It's huge. So the face of things are changing. The face of business is changing. And the cool thing about network marketing is, well, especially with what we do, you're dealing with people again. We get to deal and interact with people. And a lot of this business is done just through friendships. Mm-hmm. It's done through word of mouth. It's done through, relationships. And I think that's pretty awesome. So like I said, the face of the business industry in America is changing.
Because it's going online.
Everything's going online. Yeah. Like I said, you can have groceries delivered to your house. We have bulk items delivered to our house. We don't even shop for them anymore. They just show up at the door. They deliver toilet paper and paper towels. It's crazy. And we live in the middle of nowhere. So if we lived in a big city, you could have everything delivered like same day. It's nuts.
Justin, I noticed the other night on TV that, and again, we think about what the limits are on things. And I'm sure that, and I'm not a big fan of Amazon, but Amazon now, you can have a package of clothes delivered to your house and you can pick out the ones that you want and send the other ones back. And if you would have said to someone 5 years ago, or even longer than that one of these days, you'll get a box in the mail with your clothes, and you just pick out the ones that you like, and you send the rest of them back. We live in a small town of 5,000 people, and we have what's called a square, but it's really a circle. And I would tell you that probably 50% of the retail businesses around our square are actually empty buildings.
Yeah.
So we're living that, as you were talking about. The brick and mortar game is a thing of the past unless you are in some specialty product or you are in something that they can buy no place else.
Yeah, and I agree. And I'm a brick and mortar fan. I'm not saying I like all the changes either. I like people. I like just being around people. But things are changing, and things are changing fast. Network marketing is just one of the businesses of this new century. It's just a new business model. Not a new business model, but with everything online, it's almost a new business model.
It's easier than it's ever been, in my opinion.
And
a great time to be getting involved in the.
It's a great time to get involved in a good company. Yeah. Since we've started, we've seen several different network marketing companies pop up, gone, all even in the same industry, in the same health and wellness industry that we're in. But they come up and then they're gone. There's 2 of them I'm thinking of over the last couple of years that had. I know a girl, I was going to sign her up for our team. Yeah. Oh, and she joined another company, and then she got the company tattoo on her arm.
Oh no!
And then quit the company like a week later. I'm like, this is insane. Like, I'm so glad she didn't join our team. Kind of. That's a little much. I mean, I love Plexus, but that's a little much. But things are going fast, and so it's a great time to be in network marketing. But it's a great time to be in a good company in network marketing. I don't think there's another better one than Plexus out there. We're not going anywhere.
Can you say why?
There's many reasons. Well,
the
Go ahead.
four of us,
Go ahead.
you and Megan and Bill and I both have had lunch with Carl and Alec, the owners, and to be able to sit down and have lunch with owners, and they're so normal people. They are two men that sat with an office full of 5 or 6 people, wanting to make a health and wellness company that was just focused on health and wellness. They never dreamt that their company would ever do this, and for them to still sit down with normal people, for them to be talking to us on Facebook and make a comment to your post. I mean, they take the time to invest in their people. And we were shocked when we ended up going. You guys invited us as a guest to the conference last year in Orlando. And we came out of that. I mean, when they ended the song with "What a Beautiful Name It Is," we just looked at each other like, holy crap, we feel like we've been at a Christian concert. This is like the environment, the positive energy. I mean, Rick and I graduated nursing school together. It's been 26 years in medicine. It's like, we didn't even get that in medicine even. Yeah. For us, it was just, we were thrilled. We were like you, I am not going to do that. I ain't putting my name on that. I'm not doing that. And it's blown us away.
I've changed my saying from when I am talking to someone or I'm writing to them, I usually end it with, you may think that I'm crazy, but I'm actually healthy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You need a t-shirt.
That's right.
You need a t-shirt that says that. But no, I think Plexus is for many reasons, I think it's the right company within network marketing, especially the health and wellness arena of network marketing. Like I said, I've seen a couple companies come and go over the last couple of years. One was a company called It Works. They're still around as far as I know, but they're just not around like they once were. We've recruited several people on our team from It Works. So maybe it doesn't work. I don't know, but there's a few others, and one of the things that Plexus has going for it is the products. If you look at the ingredients, if you study the ingredients, if you study the way it's been formulated and the areas that the products actually target, the root areas of gut health, of inflammation, of blood sugar balance, and so on, they're targeting issues that can help so many people. So I think that their target is right. So the products is one reason why Plexus is best. Another reason is there's a couple things. There's 2 marks in network marketing from my research that I've done. There's two milestones that a network marketing company needs to get to so you can see the health of that company. One is they need to be in business for 10 years. We just surpassed that last year. And the next thing is $1 billion in revenue annually. And we're almost there, which we're going to get there. So those are a couple good marks on the health of our company as far as the industry standards go. Several other things I think in Plexus it's a teamwork driven company. It's not a competitive environment, meaning the way that the compensation plan is structured is there's not 3 positions at the top set for 3 people only. If there was enough people that had enough points, you could have 1,000 people at the top of the company. There's room at the top for whoever wants to and can get there. And I think that's awesome. And I think that they have with the compensation plan, I think that they've just structured it in a way that breeds teamwork, not competition. Some companies, it's not the same way. So you're in competition with people on your team. Like you don't want to get passed, or you can lose all your work in some companies where you'll lose your whole downline if someone under you passes you. In Plexus, that's just not the case. So I think that they've been very, very wise in the way that they've structured that. A couple other things why Plexus over the rest of the things that are out there is no inventory. We're not required to carry an inventory. A lot of companies, that's how you make your money, and that's how your upline makes their money, is you buy all your products from them, and then you just hope to sell your product to make your money back. And I don't really like that model. I think it can breed envy. I just don't really care for the way that some companies structure that way. And also with inventory, it's so much money up front. It'd be thousands of dollars that you have to spend up front and then hope to sell to regain that and make a profit. And that's why a lot of people today still have a lot of products from other companies in their closets, you know, candles or baskets or whatever. They're still hanging on to inventory that they weren't able to get rid of. We don't have any inventory. It's not party driven. We don't have to have parties in Plexus. We don't have to, you can have them, but it's not a party driven business to where you have to have someone host a party for you. You know, I mean, we've all got the messages from friends about hosting the parties and things for their company. And after a while, it just gets a little odd. We don't have to do that, thankfully. It's a web-based business. For the $39.95, Plexus gives you your own they give you your own Plexus website that you send people to. They sign up, Plexus sends it all to them, and they take care of the sales tax. I think that's great. I don't have time to mess with sales tax. I think that's a great perk. Great perk, and they have customer service and training, everything you want, all the training tools, systems in place, new systems that they put in place. Let's see. They're a debt-free company. Compensation plan that they have, 50% of what the company makes each month, they pay back out to the field. And that's really high in the network marketing industry.
That's huge.
Let's see, what else? There's 11 different ways that you can be compensated. All that is in the back office. We have access to all 11 ways. If you want more information on that, we can definitely get that to you or get you plugged into the right area in the back office to study that.
I didn't know how I got paid till I think I might have been Ruby. So you don't have to understand the compensation plan to help people get healthy or help them start their own businesses.
Right.
Just saying.
But it helps. If you can help people get healthy and know why you're getting paid, you can maybe even make more.
I listened to Sonia Dudley's little video on that, and that just helped me understand how we got paid.
We get paid weekly and monthly.
11 times.
Yeah.
Or 10 times. 10 times.
Let's see. And the sign-up cost we already talked about only being $39.95. 60-day money-back guarantee. There's just so many different perks on why Plexus over the others. And my biggest thing is I believe in what we're sharing with people. I believe in the products. I believe in the compensation plan. I believe in the products because I see what it's done for our family and for our friends. I believe in the compensation plan because I see what it's done to our bank account, and I can understand the comp plan, and I believe in the integrity of the leadership of this company. They just continue to amaze me, really, and it's something I'm attach my name to.
On the 60-day money back, that is something that as an ambassador is actually handled through Plexus and their group of people there. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to warranty or fix your car. They have people there to do that job. That's big, believe me, because I come out of the retail business where we had a business and there was warranty involved in it. And so I had to make a decision. I had to decide, is that warrantable or not warrantable, whatever. Your warranty states 60-day money back. And if they're not happy, they dial to Plexus. Their phone number is listed, and they talk with a service representative, whatever it is, and Plexus manages that by sending them the money. It does not come out of my bank account, your bank account, or any of your ambassadors' bank accounts at all. Plexus manages that. That's huge.
Yeah, and one of the cool things I think that a lot of people maybe don't understand about our 60-day money-back guarantee is that let's say that you ordered the triplex and you loved the triplex, and then you wanted to try another product. Maybe you wanted to try Edge, let's say, and you tried that Edge for 60 days and you didn't like it. You could get your money back just on the Edge and still keep taking your triplex. I mean, that 60-day money-back guarantee isn't just for unhappy people. The 60-day money-back guarantee is for every single product one time.
Yeah.
Right.
You could try every product that they have and not like them and send them all back, and they'll give you your money back, and you've tried them for 60 days. So
you don't even have to send them back.
No, you don't send them back. You just keep them.
Right. And I think that also points to the heart of the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that to you because they are interested in not only the ambassadors, but they're interested in the product that they're selling so much that they don't want someone sitting there with that edge or whatever that is, and they don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So they take care of that themselves. They don't have to call me and complain about anything. All they have to do is call the service people out there. It's all handled.
Yep.
No brick and mortar, no big invest. Well, I'm sorry, $39.95 investment to start your business. That's not too bad, and have all of that at your fingertips.
And I always tell people, like, if it doesn't meet your expectations, because I know that these products work for people if they're used correctly and taken consistently. So usually when people say it doesn't work for me, it's because one or two of those things, or the time factor, like they just didn't give enough time for them to see results. And so I just tell people, like, Plexus has a super high success rate, like close to 90%. And there's not a whole bunch of people that even return their products. But I always tell people, like, because sometimes people are afraid that they're going to sign their life away or something by deciding to try Plexus. And I'm like, give it a try. You basically have a free trial period, because if you don't love it or it doesn't meet your expectations, you can get a full money back guarantee and you don't have to mail anything back. But I just tell them, like, you're not out anything. The health food store does not operate that way. And so to me, it's a win. It's a win on all angles.
Right.
Also, another thing to remember too is if Plexus happens to send a wrong product to your client, that client can keep that product.
Mm-hmm.
So all they need is call into Plexus, and Plexus will let your client keep that product, and they will mail out the proper product to them. So
yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So there was two things, we kind of got on a little rabbit trail, but two things that really influenced my decision to share Plexus. One of them was Jarrett Abert's Diamond documentary and the freedom that I saw in that video that they were living out. And I had this belief that, well, if those people can do it, I can do it. And then the second thing was, once I hit that first rank of silver. So silver means that you have signed and you have helped 3 people sign up as ambassadors. And I actually ended up signing some customers first, but I kind of dabbled my way to silver. But as soon as I went silver, I was like, game on. How do I get to gold? How do I do this thing? Right? And so I always encourage people, every single person, even if they're just starting the products for their health, they should get to silver. Everyone has 3 people in their life that can benefit from the products. It's just as a win-win. I am not embarrassed or ashamed to tell people, like, hey, who do you know that we can help with this? Or, hey, what are your thoughts about sharing? Because every single person can share with people. And even if it's just their mom, their husband, and their BFF or their sister, we all do better when we're starting something new if we have accountability. Because if people just like kind of sneak in, they can like sneak out kind of fast. But if they get a couple people to do it with them and they go public, maybe they like make a post, it'll help them stay consistent and committed to their own health goals and to the products. And by just sharing with a couple of people, it's not hard to share with people. Just a couple of people, get them started. It'll give them motivation to stay consistent. And once people get paid, that's the thing, is retention, like helping your people stay on their products. There's 3 things that affect that. One of them is going silver. Another is troubleshooting on the products. So like having that follow-up worked into your system where you are putting people in your calendar, a couple days after they order their products. Mm-hmm. And then every week after that for the first 4 weeks. That way you're making sure that you're establishing relationship and influence with them and helping them troubleshoot, because sometimes you have to tweak what time of day they take products or what they're taking or how much they're taking. And then the third thing, it would be helping them plug into our community. So if people feel part of something, they're less likely to leave. And so those are a couple of things that really influence retention.
Yeah. One of the things is this is my total guy sports analogy. So, Tammy, you're a football fan, so but this is this business is a contact sport. You have to contact people. It doesn't matter if they're people that you would like to share the products with, if it was people that you want on your team, you have to contact them. They're not going to all come to you.
Mm-mm.
Some might, some will, but that'll end. Well, I mean, that'll end at some point. You get 4 years down the road, and I mean, that might wane a little bit. You got to broaden your network a little bit, but you have to contact them. Even the customers and the ambassadors that you have to contact them. They're not going to contact you and tell you if everything's going okay. They'll be embarrassed and not contact you. So you have to be in connection. You have to contact people. It's a contact sport. So you honestly, to be successful in this business, you have to constantly be in connection with people. You constantly have to be talking to people. I talked with a girl the other day, and I don't know, time goes so fast, I forget, but she's like, I want to promote this month. I'm like, great, that's awesome. Let's take a look at, where you're at. And like, so how many people have you contacted? Well, I haven't really reached out to anybody in a few months. I'm like, okay, well, how many people have you signed up this month so far? Well, 0. I said, well, I see the problem. You're not contacting. This is a contact sport. You have to get off the bench. And I said, well, how about last month? How many? Well, I didn't sign any up last month either. I'm like, well, I can see the problem. You have to talk to people. You have to hear no. You have to hear, majority of the messages I send out, I hear nothing back.
And you have to be okay with no.
That's the majority. Yeah.
I mean, people are going to be skeptical. There are so many companies out there, and people are inundated every day with invitations to companies. So you're going to hear no, and it's okay. I had a doctor get a hold of me today. I've not reached out to her because I work so closely with her.
Medical.
But she's been watching. People are watching your posts. Even though you hate to post, just like, I'm a medical professional. I don't want as you said, Justin, my credentials, my character to be questioned. She's been watching, and she got a hold of me today and said, I want my whole family on these. Yep. I don't feel good.
Yeah, so people are watching. We've been, like I said, 4 years, and I had, maybe it was 2 months ago, I had a guy reach out, and he's like, okay, I'm in. I've been watching you along. And so people are paying attention, but you have to talk to people. People have to know what you're in. People have to know what you're about. You have to get people's attention. If you're never going to post, if you're never going to talk to anybody, you're never going to promote, because people don't know what you have to offer. They don't know what you're doing. And
guess what? You get to go back to your day job then.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to my day job. So
go back to road construction, and I don't want to do that.
We're not going there.
That was a great season, but that season passed. It's over. And but we have to be willing to talk to people. And the cool thing is people need what we have. But how many rude responses have you gotten in 4 years of reaching out? Seriously,
honestly, not that many. I mean,
one maybe.
I mean, there's some people, but people that I've contacted that know me well, I feel like they hear my heart, even if they're not interested. I always flip it into a referral. Like, hey, totally fine. Like, if you're not interested, thank you for messaging me back and taking the time to do that. Do you know of anyone that I could help? I help people every day. People that struggle with migraines, IBS, any sort of gut health issue. Even some people that are like financially strapped and really looking for an opportunity. If you know of people like that, I would love to connect with them. So, and also people come around because the timing changes for them, and they'll think of you if you've reached out about the business or you've reached out about the products and just opened that door and then kept in conversation with them, either on social media or in person. I did want to share a couple of resources, because Plexus, if you plug into the system, you'll be successful. And it's not complex, guys. It's as simple as filling out the leads you didn't know you had sheet. And this is in the back office. You can print it out.
Can we share our screen with them?
Yeah. We can share the screen just to show you where those are.
Let me try to share the screen with you, and we can,
Here, I can do it real fast.
Go through. One of the cool things about Zoom is we can share our screen with you, and we can go into our back office and show you right when we're talking. And It's a real cool feature.
But it's super, I mean, it's really simple. Like the way that I have worked my business has been 99% off of Facebook. And now that Instagram is bigger, people can use, whatever social media they have, because that's where people are. And so when sometimes people are like, oh, I don't do social media, a lot of times I'm like, well, you need to learn how to, because it's going to take you 5 times as long to go contact all those people in person or meet with them at a coffee shop, which I'm not discounting that. That's important to do. But if you want fast success, start making some posts on social media and also start contacting people. Do you guys all have the Dough app? That is such a helpful tool.
DOUGH.
Yep.
It's awesome.
It is awesome.
It's a little app that feeds you who to reach out to and follow up with every day.
It's perfect. It's almost like a boss giving you a list of things to do. Here's what I want you to do today. Got it. Check, check, check.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So here, we'll show you really quick. So if you go to if you just log in and then go to, Training Center, Resource Library, Resource Library. And then this is where you start. It just goes through the simple sharing system. You can click on each of those things, and it's as simple as send, share, invite, or you're sending out a message, you're sharing a third-party tool, which is one of the videos that we got from Super Saturday, or even like that 1-minute triplex video. Utilizing those third-party tools helps so much, because it helps basically sell people on it, so you don't have to do it. And also when they repeat back to you, like what they tracked with, they're essentially selling themselves on why they need to try it, or why they need to start it, or what they tracked with. And then I always try to close people quickly. Like when we're chatting, I try to move to a phone conversation as soon as possible. And then usually when we're on the phone, you have to be a master question asker. These are the questions I ask people. What are your health goals? Are you on any medications? And do you have any bathroom troubles or allergies? Because usually those questions give me insight to what their priorities are for their health. And then from there, I can decide whether they need to go with the Weight Loss Essentials pack, which is one of the biggest $199 pack, or like the Family Essentials pack, which is like, the triplex and some of the other, the omega and the kids multivitamin, things like that. So I need to know if like skincare is their main focus, gut health, or weight loss, which I always now sign people with the $199 packs, because it's more comprehensive and they'll get a better view of what Plexus is about. Because especially for people that want weight loss, if they're not addressing their gut, it's going to be kind of a false weight loss, because Candida overgrowth is usually the culprit behind why people eat like crap and why they can't lose weight. So taking care of that is so essential, but also having the shakes and the MetaBurn is so crucial too, because it'll help them see results quicker. I've had so many people that have started for weight loss and they just do triplex, which I do have people that lose significant amounts of weight just doing that. But some people don't see it because the healing is slower and it's on the inside, and they want to lose that 20 pounds so fast. And people typically don't move enough and they eat way too many calories. And so doing a shake or two a day, plus adding in the MetaBurn, and then they're over here working on their, triplex, working on their gut, is just like the best combo. But those are the main questions that I ask people. And then when we're on the phone, I really try to hone in and like, tell me more about, you're suffering with migraines, or tell me more about, what's going on with your gut. And so honing in on their pain points helps them realize like how awful they feel and how much they need to do something. And then from there, I'll usually just say like, hey, well, what are your thoughts about just getting started? Like, since we're on the phone, I could totally plug this in for you, or I could walk you through the process. So I move them through that conversation and move them through the funnel as quick as possible, because they're not going to have health change unless they start. And I just encourage them, like, hopefully when I talk to them, like I build credibility and trust and influence, so that they'll, just trust that I know what I'm talking about, because people are expecting us to be the professional. Even if you're just getting started and you don't feel like the professional, you have people to help you, answer those questions and help people build that trust, because we know the products are great. We've researched them. We've seen countless people, hundreds, thousands of people find health change. And so I know, like, They can go do their own research for 3 weeks, but that's not going to help them feel better. You know what I mean? So I always try to, boom, help them get started right away. And then one of the systems that I have not implemented until recently is helping people help other people. Even if they're starting the products just for themselves and their health, I always put the bug in their ear. I just make it my MO to ask, like, hey, what are your thoughts about sharing? And then I shut up because I want them to tell me what their thoughts are. And usually they'll either say, hey, like, I'm totally game for that. That makes sense. I would love to get my products covered, things like that. Or sometimes they say, well, I want to try it first before I put my name on this. And I always acknowledge, like, hey, I so get that. But instead of saying, no worries, okay, I now press that a little bit and just say, hey, you may be like me, to where you start, like, God just starts putting people on your heart. And you think of people that are struggling with migraines or IBS, or they're wanting to stay home with their babies. So it might be one of those, like, super organic things for you, like it was for me, where I just started thinking of people and I felt obligated to, like, let them know at least, like, this was an option and that they could do this, or they should try it because it was helping me. And so that's one of my systems that I'm implementing with every single person, no matter, I mean, obviously it's a given. If they're starting for the business, then of course we're going to talk about going silver, fast start silver, actually, helping them get to gold quickly, things like that. Asking them, like, well, what do you need to make per month to make the ends meet? And then helping them hit that goal. Help them make a post on Facebook, help them host an event. Live is best. Actually live and then an online event within 1 week is even better, because you can front load their week and help them get started really strong. You know, it is not uncommon to be able to sign 3 to 6 people from an event that you host. Okay, that's normal. That's awesome. But those are some of the things that I am doing differently that I did not do in the beginning. I was scared to ask people because I thought, well, they're not going to do what I'm doing. But I've realized that actually people are kind of interested. They are willing to think outside the box. They are willing to share. Even if they're not interested in being diamond, they're at least interested in getting their products covered and would be willing to let you help them.
Yeah, most people are just afraid to do what we're doing. A lot of network marketing, a lot of Plexus is really just overcoming one fear after another. Whether it's the fear of standing, sharing with somebody, doing a live video, talking in front of a crowd, whatever. And I think a lot of the things that hold people back in this business is not your skill level. It's not your network. It's none of those things. One of the things that holds people back in this business is fear. We're afraid to ask the question. We're afraid to ask someone if they're interested in hearing what we have to share. We're afraid of asking if they're ready to sign up. We're afraid of asking them if they want to work the business. A lot of it, I think, comes back down to fear. Yeah.
I know Megan and I have talked about this, but to do it live, and I know Suzanne, you're struggling with that now too, about telling your story. I really had a hard time going live. I don't like the camera myself. I like to be the person in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea Suzanne and Laura, my niece, all 3 of us have Lyme. So there's 3 of us Lyme on this call tonight. I had a hard time doing my live, but that live has been viewed over 4,000 times.
Whoa.
Lyme patients in New York. I have Lyme patients in Wisconsin. I have Lyme patients in Australia. I have Lyme patients everywhere. Mm-hmm. I have people contact me weekly that are Lyme patients needing help. So don't underestimate your life, because you may feel awkward. You may feel like it's not speaking to somebody. It's speaking to somebody. Rick is the example. I mean, he knew I had SIBO, or he heard I had SIBO. He's battling SIBO now. That's why he's here. Mm-hmm. So don't underestimate your life.
Yeah, and I think that for me, I listened to Jessica Heffley's Fear video on repeat, and also Lori Harrison's video on comfort zones. And I had to come to the realization that this wasn't about me, and that I wasn't, enough. I wasn't qualified. don't public speak, I'm not a good communicator, whatever the head trash was. Like, it actually wasn't about me. It was about me sharing so that other people could be helped. And so totally track, Tammy, with what you're saying. And I think the thing is, like, I've had to grow past my skill set. Anyone that's done anything in their Plexus business has had to grow outside of their normal skill set and adopt some more skill sets because there might be an end to like where your leadership hits, right? So maybe we have to learn how to host an event, or we have to get a little bit techier and learn how to host a Zoom, or do an online event, or host an in-person event, or it doesn't even have to be an event. It could be other things, right? Getting out of our comfort zone and talking to someone in person. Like that was all super scary to me because I was so introverted when I started 4 years ago, but I was willing to get out of my comfort zone, and that's really where growth is. And that's really, really where influence is built and where you can help other people. If any of you do the Bob Heilig's Legacy Leadership Academy, I know he's been chatting a lot about videos and how important they are, and getting in front of our audience is so important. I feel like when my warm market, or when people stopped contacting me, I had to get creative, like, okay, well, what should I do now? And every time I would pop on live and do a video, yes, they're scary, but people pay attention and people listen. Mm-hmm. And even if it's not for them, they probably know someone that you can help. Yeah. So also keep that in mind.
I don't think that we all go through trials, and everybody goes through trials. That's just part of life. But I honestly don't believe we just go through trials just to go through a trial. We go through these things and we come through these things so that we could be a help and a comfort to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I think if we're not going to share, people want to hear our stories. People need to hear our stories. That's where people find encouragement, is through other people's stories. Stories are huge. And if we're holding them back and we're keeping them to ourselves, really, whether it's Plexus or anything else in life, if we're holding those stories to ourselves, we're being selfish. And I think that we can have more of an impact than we realize, because like I said, a trial is not just to go through. It's to go through and to overcome and to share with others so that they can go through it too. So we don't want to waste that opportunity and this is something that my coach, one of my business coaches, has been telling me. Is like, you need to share your business story because other men need to hear your story. So I'm not just sharing these things with you and telling you guys you need to do this. I'm saying this because this is what's been challenged to me, is I need to be sharing my story with more men and targeting that group of men who want more, who want to be with their kids more, want to be with their wife more, who don't want to work 16 hours a day anymore. And that's only going to happen if I share my story. If I don't share my story, then I don't know. I'm not going to be encouraged. So who knows?
Those questions that I ask people when they're getting started helps me put them into buckets. Can you guys all see this screen share, hopefully? This is one of the tools in your back office, but it's really fabulous. It's also on the files of the team page, but it helps you put people into, just kind of categorize them. Generally, this is not something that you tell them, but you just kind of mentally process that, okay, they're pretty much a product user. I might be able to help them get, like maybe their mom on board, or maybe their hubby or something. And then it kind of goes through, how to help them. Same with baby steps. Maybe someone's like, yeah, I'm kind of interested in sharing with a few people. So then maybe those are the people that you would say, probably we can get them to silver in 30 days, right? And then you have your all-in people that maybe even be joining you for the business. And you definitely need to be talking to them about fast starting. Actually, every single person that you sign up, you should be talking to about fast start. Like, hey, I just tell everyone the scoop on this, but if you help 3 people order the $199 packs in your first 14 days, you get a $422 bonus. And if you do it in 30 days instead of 14, you get a $322 bonus. So I make that part of your sign up process to let them know, because you'll have people that maybe were like me, that if we would have had a little bit more of a nudge, we would have shared sooner and maybe have, processed things quicker if we had someone walking alongside of us, kind of coaching us on certain, on the sharing part of it. not just waiting until the people come to you and say, hey, I'd like to share with people, right? Because people aren't going to naturally necessarily flock to you to do that unless they're self-starters.
But that was an unfortunate thing that happened, was having been a travel nurse for so long and being so sick. That's exactly what happened to me, was people started coming. And unfortunately, that's where I had so many people that dropped off, because I had hundreds of people all of a sudden and I couldn't keep up. I had no idea what was happening so fast, and I couldn't follow up with hundreds of people. So yeah, so to follow up now, they just launched the new Plexus AIM.
Yes.
That Plexus AIM will send you a note saying, hey, you need to check on Rick this week. How's Rick doing? Did you do it? Done.
Yeah.
So that's an awesome app. So don't deny that app when it comes, because for me, it's huge. I can't keep track of everybody. I've got too many people.
Yeah.
You got thousands of people. Without that app saying, hey, can you check on such and such today? That's huge. That Doe app is wonderful too. That Doe app, I just started the Doe app last week. Bill and I went through the onboarding. The very day they actually walked you through 5 reach outs, I had a person sign that I never would have thought would have signed.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And we'll see about people.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people are waiting. Some people aren't bold. I mean, we're nurses, so of course Rick was going to come find me. But some people aren't bold enough to say, hey, I've got bowel problems.
Yeah.
So it takes somebody reaching out to them saying, hey, can I help you with any health goals?
Exactly. Like where we need to initiate, because some people do feel that way. They're a little intimidated to reach out to us.
I do think that a husband and wife team is a strong set. And the reason I say that is because some of the people that maybe I send the message to might feel more comfortable talking to a nurse or talking to Tammy or talking to Megan instead of Justin, because, you know, we still remember back when we were highway guys together or whatever. Right. And so we had a situation where I'd sent a message out to a close friend that had worked with him in the business. And I thought for sure I should hear back. I didn't hear anything at all. Crickets. And I kept thinking, man, oh man, I thought for sure I would hear. Fast-paced life, has 2 children. He's a younger guy, probably mid-40s, early 40s or whatever. Well-known in the ag industry, well-known in the
Arctic Cat.
Yeah, the Arctic Cat snowmobile business. I mean, just all kinds of things that he was involved in and had touched our lives when we were in business. Not a word.
And he was on my Doe app as a person to reach out to. And I said, hey, I know Bill had reached out to you. I just kept following up. He's like, absolutely. He said, I've just been so crazy busy, but my daughter's in the hospital all the time with asthma. Yes, we need this. Call me on Monday. We'll get done.
So that makes husband and wife a real powerful combination many times.
And the like Suzanne, it was actually Rick. And I don't know Rick and Suzanne. I've never met them in person. But Rick actually saw my posts from somebody else. Then Suzanne was so sick with her Lyme that it was Rick that actually reached out to me and said, hey, my wife is really sick. I saw this video of yours. Do you think it could help her? So Rick and Suzanne are together working as a team too. So that's awesome.
Plus Debbie's husband, Jim,
he hates Plexus.
He does not like the product whatsoever.
Because he can't take a nap anymore.
No more naps. He's got all these things that he wants to do. He's recently retired. It's like, I don't like this Plexus stuff whatsoever. And it's like, what do you mean?
Energy.
Oh, I can't get a nap. I got all these things I want to do. And I'm going, okay, gotcha. So it works. It always works.
That's a post right there. Goodness. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think too, it's easy to assume negative when we hear crickets back. And we should be assuming the positive. My friend Wendy is so good at saying they're still thinking about it, or hey, they're in the middle of changing a baby diaper and like totally forgot to message you back. It's not that they are saying this like a hard no way. It's just we have to follow back up. Like, hey, did you get that message? Or hey, did that come through okay? Or hey, you've still been on my heart for whatever reason. I thought I should reach back out and just see what your thoughts were. Like if you'd be open. Ask people if they're open. Most people want to be thought of as being open. So ask them like, hey, would you be open if I sent you? And if I would you, one of those things. Hey, if I sent you a quick little video, would you give it a listen? And I'd love to hear your feedback. You know,
Go ahead.
Were you going to say something else?
I was just going to say, well, if you own one of these and you own one of these, I have learned the most, and we have a car that has, if it gets a crash, you push the button and then they send the tow truck or whatever for you. We have learned to live in a society where we want to be able to find what's most important to us by pushing a button and letting it ding back at us. So we're living in a world of no crickets anymore. So we might as well learn the technology and how to use it, which is what we've been talking about.
I can't remember if it was Bob Heilig or somebody that I was listening to. He made a very poignant comment. He said, when you post something, you think people are really judging you. If they don't want your product, they forgot about that in a minute. You're the one that's dwelling on what they're thinking of you. But the people that you've changed their life, like Suzanne and I mean, Megan, you've changed my life. I've been able to help Suzanne and Laura change their lives completely. I will never forget Megan and Justin Goff because of the life you've given me. If we can help Rick will forever be indebted going, you've helped me get through this. So that minute of what somebody thinks about me anymore, I don't care what that person thinks about me anymore. I care about the lives that I'm getting to change every day now and the phone calls that I'm receiving every day. Suzanne, when you called me a couple weeks ago and you said, well, it's interesting you ask. I'm like, oh God. And she's like, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm like waiting for this, like, not to be real. That is such an amazing feeling. I spent 26 years of my career wanting somebody to say, I feel amazing. I get that every day now. And I love every minute of it.
That makes it so worth it. Like when I think this business takes faith. And I had faith before I really even started sharing a bunch because I was like, this has the ability to like change a lot of people's health, and finances too. I just didn't have the belief on the financial part of it yet because I hadn't seen it for myself. But to have the faith that when you reach out to someone that they're going to end up thanking you for sharing Plexus with them. And I think if we can have that perspective and think forward to like when they message back or call us or whatever and just thank us, because it takes guts. Like it's kind of a sacrifice for some of us, especially if we're not necessarily just out there open and loud and proud about stuff, to share, right? It takes some effort and some caring about other people, caring more about other people than we care about other people's opinions of us, right? And so it does take faith for sure.
I was going to answer one question. I think there was a question earlier about transitioning to Plexus full time. Was that one of the questions? Maybe. Is that what you had said?
I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I thought she said.
I love it.
I thought she.
I'm boss. I love going on fun trips. I love being able to travel to see our kids. I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah. I thought she had read that earlier. So I'm just going to cover that real quick. I had a call one time. It's probably been over a year ago with a bunch of guys, and they were from all over the U.S. They weren't even on our team. I think I wasn't even one of our team calls. I got invited to do someone's call from another team, but the question was, how do we transit? The guy was saying, I want to do what you do. And I want to leave my job and I want to do what you do. How do I do it? And I don't know that I gave him the answer he wanted, but I still believe in the answer I gave him. And I said, well, I would suggest that you be faithful right where you're at. And he said, really? I said, yeah. I said, because if your attitude is singing the Johnny Paycheck song, take this job and shove it, and that's your whole mentality here, I think you're wrong. He said, really? Well, how do I do that? I said, you be faithful at the job that's paying you. And then when you're not there, or when you're on break, or when you're on lunch, work your Plexus business like crazy. And do it until it gets big enough that you can leave your job and you can do it well. I said, you want to leave your job well. I mean, because when you leave a job, you're selling Plexus. The way that you leave that job or leave that employer, you're painting a picture of Plexus to to that guy or to that gal or to that whole network. I said, so always my advice is be faithful. Be faithful where you're at. God doesn't promote the unfaithful. God promotes the faithful. And so be faithful where you're at. And that's what I did with my Plexus business is I didn't go to lunch with the guys. I quit going. I worked my business. I didn't go with them anymore. And on breaks, I didn't really hang out with them. I was working my Plexus business. I was talking to people about the products, about the business. And we were up till 1 o'clock in the morning every single night until the thing got going.
Yeah.
And then I was up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, people think it's easy. It's not easy. It's a lot. It's very time consuming. I mean, I've spent all day in and out of town. So yeah, it's time consuming. It's not, oh, I'm going to just quit my job and I'm going to be handed a big paycheck.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Somebody texted me going, hey, I need something. Or, midnight, Lyme patients don't sleep. Yeah, it's nothing for a Lyme patient. I can get my phone vibrating at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning because the Lyme patient hasn't slept and found my video.
Yeah.
You're right.
But all that stuff that we did early on, all of it was worth it. I wouldn't trade. The only thing I would have done is I would have done more work faster earlier. So yeah, so it's all been worth it. And network marketing and Plexus is the vehicle to get us to where we want to go.
So you guys all have this. Oh yeah, I know. Yep. We're running over. You guys all have this 6 codes. You all working on filling those? I feel like signing the 6 is just like signing the 2 last month that we did to unlock the double points.
6 because I mean, Suzanne, I know you just started, but those of us that have been 6 codes, I've got people that don't want to work the business. I've called them and said, hey, you should have got 6 codes in your email. I know you don't want to work the business, but there's 6 more people that I could get those codes to. So gather those codes up. If you have people that don't want to use them, email them and say, hey, what's your code so I can use them? Debbie's got all 3 of her codes left. That's
awesome. That's awesome. I just reached out until I had breakthroughs and signed 2 people. And not that I was annoying people or like trying to be salesy, but just like inviting people, like, guys, I have this little special going on. And so what I'm doing with my 6 codes is I'm voice messaging pretty much. I put the examples in the threads if you want to see what I said. But basically, hey, I'm reaching out because I have 6 free enrollments that I'm gifting, and I just want to make sure they get into the right people's hands. Or is this something that you want to do? Pretty much I'm just following up with a lot of people that I've sent samples to. And remember, you can go into Facebook Messenger and type in keywords. So if you sent out a bunch of samples, type in sample and it will bring up anyone that you've ever used that word in a message to. So fabulous. So you can do the same thing with Plexus or Lyme or whatever. I didn't even know till today that we could do that. So I have a huge long list of people that I've sent samples to that I need to follow up with. So, alrighty. Are there any quick questions? I know it's getting late.
Yeah. We're good. Great. Well, Justin and Megan, thank you guys very much for spending time with us tonight.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
And if there's any questions that come up that you can't think of now, feel free to reach out. I mean, we're here, we're available. You're not going to bother us. So, I mean, feel free to reach out anytime.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, Tammy, thanks for hosting, and I will get the recording to you so you can share it with everyone. Okay.
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 See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.